Hi guys, this is Jeff at Slavens Racing. This video is about installing a Tokyomods mechanical cam chain tensioner. This is what they look like. It's a beautiful piece. It's all CNC built, machined. Very high quality. We've been working with the guys at Tokyomods for many, many years. Great guys over there, stand behind their product, which is a big requirement of ours. And they build great products, and like I said, they back them up, give us great service, and they don't make, just blingy, junky things to hang on your bike. Everything that they make is something to increase the performance or increase the reliabilities. This product increases reliability. All right, so the stock cam chain tensioner is right there. And this is an automatic style. So it's a spring preloaded ratchet style of a cam chain tensioner. And after they get some miles on them, they tend to not work as well as they should. And sometimes sorry, I'm kind of shaking here, guys. I don't know why, but let me just try something else here. There we go. Anyhow, when they start to fail or just kind of get old and loose, what you'll get is a rattling sound in the motor. Sometimes it will give you a little bit of a ticking sound at idle. If you have a ticking sound above idle, that's typically loose valve adjustment. But sometimes these will give you a little ticking at idle and then more of a rattle sound when the motor decelerates. So you rev it up, and then as it revs back down or decelerates, I'm not sure if that's the right terminology, but anyhow, you rev the engine up, as it comes back down to idle, you'll get a little bit of a rattle in there. And that's when you know it's a cam chain tensioner issue. And the Tokyomods will fix that problem because it's mechanical and adjustable. You can adjust it yourself. So I'm going to show you how to install it. And you really need to kind of, I've got great instructions that come with it. If you prefer written instructions, well then follow those. I think a lot of us, a big percentage of us are visual learners and don't learn quite as well from reading. But regardless, I'm going to give you two options here so you can read this. I recommend you do both. Read their instructions and watch the video. Because sometimes I miss something on the video, I skip something or whatever. Anyhow, guys, so you can see that there's two bolts, these bolts right down here, that I've already taken out of this top cover. And those require, well, let me just go over some of the tools required here. All right, so you'll need a Torx wrench like this. Let me see what size this one is. It's a T30. So you'll need a T30 wrench like that. You'll need an 8mm box end. A ratcheting one would be preferable, but it doesn't have to be. A little socket and ratchet like that might come handy, but I think you can do it all with a ratcheting wrench. And then spark plug removal tool, pair of pliers, and flat blade screwdriver. That's really about all you need. So up here, you just use that T30 and take those bolts out of here and then pull this cover out. So I gotta be honest, these covers never come off easily on these bikes. And this chain tensioner fits from 2012 all the way through 2024 models. And we've got them for all the Japanese brands as well. So we've got KTM, Husqvarna, GasGas, all the KTM group. And then all the Japanese brands, we have them for those as well. And the procedure, although the Japanese motors look a lot different, the procedure is the same on all these bikes. You got to get them up on top dead center on the power stroke, and then change it out. That's the whole key, is to have the motor top dead on power stroke. And in order to do that, you really have to take the valve cover off to see where the cams are. There's no way to do it externally unless you have X-ray vision. Alrighty, so I've got this cover. Let's see if I can do this one-handed or not. I don't know. Yep, I got it. All right, so I got to tell you, I already took this hose off. So there's a big vent tube hose on the other side that comes, you got to take off first. And that's why I had those orange handle pliers, was to do that. And now you can see in here the cam chain, rockers, all that stuff. And then from there we need to get it on top dead center on compression stroke, which means the cam lobes have to be up, pointing towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And that will let you know that it's on top dead on the right stroke. So hold on just a second. Okay guys, so the next step is to rotate the motor to get it on top dead center on the power stroke or the compression stroke, which is the same thing. And so typically on these motors you either have to pull off this ignition cover to get to the end of the crankshaft. I believe this is the first year where they put a plug in the end here that you can remove, but not everybody's going to have that big, let me see what that is. Come on. Yeah, I think it's a 14 millimeter Allen. And you know, very few guys are going to have that size Allen to pull out of there, but if you want to do that, that's great. All the previous years, you have to pull this cover off if you want to get on the end of the crankshaft with a wrench or a socket. And there's oil behind there, so now you've got to deal with the oil. And you could possibly damage the gasket. So you'd want to have an extra gasket on hand. All right, so I think an easier way to do it for most people, other than for this year that has the access plug here, and a lot of the Japanese models do have a access plug right here. You know, this is, anyhow, just drop that. Most of the Japanese models have an access plug right there, but the KTMs and most previous years they don't. So, you know, this is not an option. All right, and then for those years, you're just going to want to stick it in gear and use and usually stick it up in 4th, 5th, 6th gear and use the rear tire to rotate the motor. You know, have the bike up on the stand, have the rear wheel off the ground. And if you have a recluse auto clutch, then you're going to need to back this out. All right, so just, you know, I always have markers here, reference markers, and I know that on this bike, I know what the position is because I've got this reference marker here. So what you got to do is just, if you do have the recluse, then you want to put a T-handle on here and back this out a turn and a half or so to get it to where it's not engaged, to where the recluse clutch has been disabled. And then afterwards, you'll have to screw that back into its original position. All right, so from here, I'm just going to put my hand on the back tire. And then I'm going to bump the motor. And so what I'm looking for here is I want the intake valves to go down and then come back up. And then there's a dot right there. Let me see if I can get a flashlight so you can see that better. Ooh, that's too bright. But anyhow, that dot right there, you want that to be up. So up here. All right, so just to review that real quick, you want to, as the motor's rotating, you want the rocker arms to push the valves down, and then for the valves to come, the intake valves to come back up, and then look for this to go into position, this dot to go into position at the top here. At that point, all 4 valves will be closed. And the reason we do this, and let me back up here for a second, do not attempt to change the cam chain tensioner without having that motor on top dead center on the compression stroke. Because what can happen is you take that tension off of here, and the motor could rotate depending on what position the cam was in, because it's going to be pushing on those valves, and the springs are going to try to rotate the motor, right? And so it could rotate, it could actually jump time. You know, you can create a big mess by doing that. So it's just not worth it to skip this procedure. I know it's kind of a pain in the butt. The biggest pain is getting the valve cover off. Yeah, it's only 2 bolts on this one. It's 3 bolts on some of them. But it's just hard to squeeze it out of there. So that's really the only difficult part. But just make sure that you do this step first. You know, I'd really hate to see you have it, be trying to fix a problem here and then create another problem. So don't do that. Anyhow, all right, so I'm gonna do this part. All right, you saw the valves come back up. All right, there's the dot right there. I'm just gonna bump it up to the top. It doesn't have to be exact. I just want to know that those valves are closed and that they're not pushing, that the rocker arms are not pushing on the valve spring. So at that point, I know we're good. Now we can take this out. And I've already loosened up these screws. I don't think I can do this and hold the camera at the same time because I'm going to need both hands to get that one out. So give me just a second. I'm just going to pop that out of there. All right, I already took out the old cam chain tensioner. This is what it looks like. It's a ratchet style. Has these teeth on here and a spring-loaded piece here. And this is where it gets tired and doesn't hold the cam chain as tight as it should over time. And then in their instructions, they say to start these bolts, thread these bolts about halfway in, both of them, which is what I've done here. And that's just to guide the piece so it can slide in and out on those bolts. And then they want you to adjust this in until it pushes out and gives you about a 2 millimeter gap right here. Well, I've got, and then of course that's hard to measure, but you got to try to hold it to where it's the same gap all the way along here. And that's going to get you real close to where it needs to be. Now when you get this, you'll see that it's got a lot of threads showing. You can see here now it only has a few threads showing. So you want to kind of keep that in mind. All right, so they want that 2 millimeter gap because that's about how much pressure they want put on the cam chain. All right, so from there you just need to tighten these screws down. If I can get my big fat fingers in here and do that. And you torqueaholics are going to wig out over this because it can be a little bit hard to get a torque wrench up here. There's a lot of stuff in the way, but I'm sure you can do it if that's what you want. I'm just snugging them up. And the Tokyomods logo needs to be on the outside. It should be facing you. There's not one on the other side. So the Tokyomods logo faces to the outside. And then they don't come with the new gasket. We have an option on our site for you to buy a gasket. I don't know what they are. I'm going to say a couple bucks or something. I took this one off and I'm reusing it. And I've done that on other models as well. You can usually get by with that, but not always. I mean, sometimes it will stick to one piece or the other and you'll damage it taking it off. So I would recommend that you get the gasket. You know, for me, if it didn't work out for me today, I could just run over the shop and grab one, but I know you guys don't have that option. So I'd recommend that you just grab the gasket, have it on hand. You may or may not need it. If you don't need it, you might need it another time. So it's cheap insurance to have that with you. All right, so now this is in. There's a 10 millimeter lock right here. And then the adjuster. Then the adjuster requires a flat blade screwdriver to screw it in or out. And you know, you can use something like this, a really stubby one, or I used this. You know, these are just freebies that I got somewhere. And you're going to be really close if you've got this 2 millimeter gap here, and you don't have to use calipers for that gap. You can use a tool like this, just a metric ruler, measure it. You know, it's not something super accurate. Anyhow, just get that gap in there, tighten the bolts down, and it's going to be super close right then. I did a little fine tuning by leaving this nut loose, and I screwed this in just a hair till I felt decent pressure. And you can kind of double check that up here by feeling how the chain is. It's definitely plenty snug. If it's too snug, it will make kind of a whirring sound when the motor is running. So you can pay attention to that. If it's a little on the loose side, you're going to get a little bit of a rattle sound. And you don't have to take this all back apart in order to adjust it. So if you've already got the motor back together, the tank on, the bike, you've started it and then shut it off, and you feel like it's a little too, it could be slightly tighter, well then just loosen your lock nut and turn it in, just a little bit, 1/8 of a turn, 1/4 of a turn, and then try it again. Or if you feel like it's too tight, if it's making a little whirring noise, back it out just an eighth or a quarter turn and try that. You do not have to completely take everything back apart again. All right, guys, so from there, the installation of this is basically done. You just have to put the valve cover back on, the spark plug back in, the plug back in, inspection plug here if you have one of those. If you don't, you use the wheel method to rotate the motor, and you have a recluse clutch, well then you'll need to reset your clutch adjustment, which just takes a second. And you'll be ready to rock and roll, and this is definitely a more reliable system than the factory one. It's beautiful machining, it's a great concept, it's a great execution, it definitely fixes an issue, it's more reliable, and looks good, it's a no-brainer. All right, guys, if you would, please like us on Instagram or Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and if you're in the area, please stop by the store. Hopefully I'll see you on the trail getting some throttle therapy. That's all for now.